Okay, let's start again. Let's start from the beginning. Okay. Start again. All right. So we're going to talk about how many LLCs you can have, you should have, how to report your income if you have multiple services, and what's included when you have multiple services in one LLC. This has been recorded. Okay, so we start from the beginning just so we can record it. So if you just joined me on Clubhouse, if you click the link at the top of the screen, you can join me on Zoom so you can get the actual live visual, or you can continue to listen on Clubhouse and listen if you're an auditory learner. So the first thing we want to pull up is we want to know where all our income activity is going to be reported. If you are a single member LLC, your income is going to be reported on the Schedule C profit and loss statement. If you are a sole proprietor, meaning you have not declared to have a legal entity in your state, you just decide to offer a product or service. It doesn't matter if you're selling t-shirts, hats, cupcakes, cookies, tennis shoes, notary services, fingerprinting services, coaching, whatever. You decided, hey, there's a business in me that I want to offer. I think it can be a value. You decide to create a product or service without being a legally declared business entity. So you are considered to be a sole proprietor. If you are a single owner LLC or a single member LLC that has not elected to be taxed as an S Corp, which is an actual tax declaration on a tax form called 2553, and it's best to do that with an accountant or an attorney. But if you have not made that declaration and it is just you, but you're doing an LLC so you can protect your personal assets from being liable in the event of any kind of lawsuit, you will also report your income on this tax form called Schedule C. Okay. Now, line 1 of the Schedule C says, what's the name of the proprietor, right? So if you are an LLC or a sole proprietor and you don't have any kind of name, it's just your name goes here. My name is Camille Mitchell, so let's go ahead and fill it out. Camille Mitchell, okay? That's my name. Now, it will ask for your social security number. All right. Now, line 8 says, okay, Camille Mitchell, what is the principal business or profession that you're offering? What's your principal product or service? That's usually the first thing you decide to do when you became a business owner, usually. Or it's going to be your main income producing service or product, okay? So for me, my main profession or business or service is notary, okay? Notary, public service. Now, this box B as in Bravo here, box B as in Bravo on the Schedule C, it says to enter a certain code, enter a code. If I were to go to irs.gov and I'm looking for a Schedule C, there's a tax publication that teaches you how to do a Schedule C. The code that they're wanting you to put in is the code from your NAICS code, okay? And make this big for you, because what happens is when you're doing your taxes and you're using TurboTax and you're just answering questions, you need to know how, when you answer those questions, how it relates to your tax form. So I'm going to go over here to the instruction for the Schedule C. And we're going to look at, let's see here, line B. It says enter on line B the 6-digit code from the principal business or professional activities, okay? That line B is going to be your NAICS code. So I click on that hyperlink. This is your NAICS code. See here? These 6-digit codes are based on the North American Industry Classification System. I was almost right. I said industry, I think I said classification system. So that's what NAICS code means, okay? Every service that you offer as a business, every product has an industry code, okay? This industry code is reported on your taxes, which I think a lot of people don't really know about, okay? And it's also how insurance companies are able to provide you with insurance quotes when you're purchasing insurance, professional insurance, okay? General liability insurance, errors and omission insurance. They base it on, the first thing they ask you is, okay, well, what are you gonna be doing in the business? And you say, okay, hey, listen, I'm a notary business, so we're gonna do apostille, fingerprint, we're gonna do all these different services. So if I am answering your question of, can my LLC offer lots of different services or do I have to get different LLCs? I'm gonna go back to our Schedule C. And our Schedule C says, listen, I don't care what you do. I just want to know your principal business. What's the your main business and the associating NAICS code, right? So we go over here and we're looking at our main business. And let's see if it's listed here on here. It may or may not be listed. We may have to go to the actual website. Let's see. Legal services, right? So if you look at me, right, I'm an accountant. Look at how many different codes I have. I do payroll. I do tax preparation. I do other accounting services, right? I do tax advisement like we're doing right now. I do business advisement. I do tax review. I am not a CPA, just so you all know. A CPA is a certified public accountant, but that does not mean that I'm not an accountant. We have different types of accountants. We have tax accountants, managerial accountants, financial accountants. You have CPAs, right? CPAs get all the hype because that's what's promoted the most to you all. And so a lot of times people feel as though if you're not a CPA, you're not an accountant, but that's not true. A tax accountant is a person that that has special training and credentials to help you minimize your tax risk. A certified public accountant is a person that is licensed by the CPA board of your state. It is a state recognized designation. If they are a CPA in Georgia, can they go to Florida and be a CPA? No, they can do accounting services, but they're not just automatically a CPA in Florida. They just have that name is a state recognized certification, okay? You'll use a CPA when you want to sell your business and you want a legal valuation, you're doing mergers and acquisitions with other companies, or maybe you have shareholders and you want to have certified financial statements. A tax accountant can produce financial statements, right? That's what you do your profit and loss statements. But if you want them certified so that they're recognized for board meetings for shareholders or in court of law, you'll need a CPA for that, okay? That's the difference. So we do the same thing. Some CPAs don't even do taxes. Some of them only just do mergers and acquisitions and your bookkeeping. There are some tax accountants that only do taxes and they don't do the monthly bookkeeping. I happen to do both, okay? So someone says, is notary under 541-211? No, because notary is not considered an accounting service. If we go over here, so this chart right here in the, this is part of the instruction manual for the Schedule C. It's limited. So if we go over here to the actual NAICS code website up here, NAICS.com. I put that link in the chat. Let me put it in here again for you all. Okay. If we go up here and put in the word notary and we hit search right here, you'll see that notary, you'll find two items. If you are a company that manufactures notary seals and those stamps, that's office supplies, that's a different code. But your notary public services is listed as a legal service under 541-199. So it's still under 541 prefix because that's for professional services, but the secondary numbers 199 is for other legal services. So essentially, notary services are considered legal services, okay? So if your main business is as a notary, the whole reason you decided to get your LLC was to offer notary services, then we go back over here to our Schedule C, and I'm going to put in 54119, 99. Okay. Now, I teach this in detail when I do my training courses. I'll be bringing that back next year. And I'll go into more why you need this when you want to do business with the government, when you want to get grants and contracts and loans. You'll definitely need to have this information and a little bit more, okay? But we're going to keep it simple today. So now that we know that, the next line says, hey, now you gave us your name and your social security number. You told us what was your primary service or your principal business type and your NAICS code. Now I want to know, do you have a business name? Now, if you have a legally declared business name, that goes on line C of your Schedule C, okay? So for me, that's me. That's my company, Identisign LLC. And I'm not going to put in my employer identification number because anybody can see this and they can steal my corporate identity. And I don't want that, right? So we're going to go over here. There you go. Same amount of digits, 9 digits, but the separation point is right here after the first 2 digits, instead of every the 3 digits and 2 digits in your social security number. Additionally, if you get your EIN number as a sole proprietor and you then elect to become an LLC, you'll have to get a different EIN number because the EIN numbers are different for sole proprietors and LLCs, okay? There are different prefixes here. So you'll have to get a whole new EIN number. So that's why I like to tell people when you're starting your business to think about the end from the very beginning. What do you want your business to do? How far do you want to go? How far do you want to grow? And start with that from the very beginning, okay? So if you're taking, Renee's business credit building course, and we tell you to get EIN numbers. If you know that eventually you're going to be an LLC, guess what? You're going to have to do the business credit building all over again under your new LLC. So whatever you decide to do, try to do that from the very beginning. If you can't afford it. If you can't afford it, then okay, start as a sole proprietorship. Just know that everything you do, you're going to have to start all over again when you become an LLC because that's essentially a new business, okay? Now, of course, after that, you have your address and zip code, and then it asks you questions about if you participate in the business and whatnot. But then the other part I want you to understand is that part 1, line 1, is asking for your gross or your total receipts and sales. So even though you have your principal business here, they understand that you may have different services. So if we go back on over here to Canva, we have our grocery store and we got our different aisles. We have our company and we have our different services. Each one of these services is going to do business, and the income is going to go back to the company. Okay, so now the company that has the bag is going to have to report the total income from all the services that you do on line 1 here. Let's just say it's $50,000. Okay, and let's go back here and let's say maybe we had a great time with notary and we had, $35,000. Okay. And maybe we got a late start with fingerprinting. Maybe you took my course as you came to Atlanta. You can say, hey, and Camille showed you how you can make money with your fingerprinting business. And maybe you made $10,000, $10,000 in fingerprinting. And we're just getting started with apostille. And so you haven't made much money there and you only made $5,000. All that income is going to flow back up through to Main LLC for a total of $50,000. Okay? That's our total income. It doesn't matter that you have these different services, right? The total income that Main LLC is responsible for reporting is $50,000. Okay. Now, I also mentioned that, and being transparent, if you are like me and you are the side hustle queen, a side hustle king, and you have different services that you love to do, you know, you just multi-talented and you're diverse, go on over here and check your NAICS code. Okay. What's going to happen is, from an insurance standpoint, and I'm not an insurance agent, I'm a business advisor. And so I advise businesses on how to operate in this land of entrepreneurship to be successful and minimize your risk. But I'm not a licensed insurance agent. I just happen to know what makes them tick. So when you get your insurance policy for your notary business and you say, I have $1 million policy, they're going to ask you, before they write the policy, what do you do? If you do not tell them that you do fingerprinting and you later decide to do fingerprinting, they're going to say, uh-oh, that's not covered because we didn't know. So tax-wise, IRS says, I don't care what you do as a service. All I want is you to report that money to me on your tax return. The insurance company says, if you don't tell us exactly everything you're doing and how you're doing it, then when it comes to liability, we may not cover it. So you'll want to talk to your insurance company to see if your fingerprinting services will be covered under your current insurance policy. If your apostille services will be covered under your current policy. If your field inspection will be covered under your insurance policy. Why? Because they have a different NAICS code. The NAICS code for background services is 561. One second, you all. My apologies, you all. I apologize for that. I had to mute myself because I had some calls coming in that I needed to answer. Okay, so tax-wise, if you have your LLC, you can offer whatever services you want to offer, as long as it gets reported to the IRS, and you have to report all income. Insurance-wise, you may have to get a separate insurance policy if your insurance, your services are not following under that main NAICS code, okay? So background services, we mentioned that apostille is really like a courier, okay? And you see here, courier has a different NAICS code as well, right? So you may have to get a separate insurance policy, but tax-wise, you can have whatever services you want to have under your LLC. And then I mentioned when it comes to your bookkeeping that you'll want to set up your chart of accounts in a way to track your income from those sources. So a lot of times you don't know what's profitable for you or not because you're just grouping everything together. So what I did here in Wave Accounting is I went to my chart of accounts over here on the left-hand side. You click on accounting, click on chart of accounts, and then I can add new accounts. So as money is coming in, I can classify it as the type of income that it is. So if I have a wedding officiant services, right? A lot of times it's noted you do wedding officiant. Okay. I can add that service. Now, I go on over here and let's just say I'm in my dashboard. And I want to create a new invoice. I can I add my customer. I'll put in what I did. Let's say I did a loan signing, right? What's my income account? Sales, but what kind of sales is it? Notary, okay? So I can declare that it's a notary, it's gonna be in my notary income and that it was $175. So I create I can't do it right now because I got to create a customer, but I would create my invoice, okay? And then when I do, I got to create a customer, but you put your customer in. When I create my customer and I pull my report, let's go ahead and pull it and make a report. When I pull my profit and loss statement, I'll have my income here and I have my different types of income. And I'll be able to see, okay, for this year, how much money has actually come from me doing notary work? How much money has actually come from me doing fingerprinting? How much money has come from me doing field inspection? Do I want to continue doing that in the next year? Is it something that's profitable for me? Am I making money from it or am I losing money? So that's how that whole big picture comes into play, right? If you're having multiple services and you are one company with multiple services, you can definitely do it tax-wise and accounting-wise. That's how you report it on your financial statement. And we'll go more to that, I guess, next week. We had good questions today. It's about 10 o'clock. It's time for my office to open. Here at the office, we open at 10 o'clock. So I need to open my office doors. But any other questions you all have for me? Any questions that I can answer for you? Let's see here. Was this helpful for you all? I hope it was helpful. It was good, good, good. So it was recorded. Any questions? That's why it's important to your bookkeeping, everybody. It's not enough just to say, I have a bank account that tells me. Some bank accounts are really, really intuitive now, and they'll tell you if it's a gas purchase or if it's a food purchase, right? But that's just a classification. It doesn't go into detail so you can know where your energy is best spent. If we know, and I'll be honest with you, field inspection is a hobby, okay? Unless you're doing home inspection and field inspection services, the money you make from field inspection, if I'm going to be completely honest, it's just gas money. Yes, I do offer one-on-one classes to help teach you. Yeah, I do offer one-on-one classes. You can click. Let me give you the link to, if you want to talk to me directly about your unique situation, you can go here to my Okay, go here. You can schedule an appointment with me. Okay, and likewise here in on Clubhouse, if you want to schedule a time to talk with me directly, and maybe you have some more questions, feel free to go here, or you want to see some of the previous things that I have to offer, some courses I have to offer, or you want to find my YouTube channel, go there, okay? All right, so thank you for your time, everybody. I have enjoyed this time together with you all. I hope it has been helpful for you and successful for you. You all have a great day. I will be uploading this to my YouTube channel. Later on today, I got some clients waiting and I got some calls to return back. So thank you. Feel free again to join me every Thursday morning in the Build with Camille, where I actually give you how-to tips. We don't just talk about best, what it is, we talk about how to do it. So hopefully this helped you today in understanding the big picture and why it's important to have bookkeeping and just being real clear. And then next week, I want to start putting numbers in, and I'm going to help you understand how to read your profit and loss statement in wave accounting. Okay. You all have a great day. Thank you for your time. The room was recorded here on Clubhouse, so you can listen to the replay as well. Have a great day and happy signings.